Hello. So I have been asked by my followers on Twitter at JustinLeeper_yo to weigh in on the AEW video game announcement that just happened a little while ago, where AEW and Ukes came out to announce that they're working on a new console video game, and there were some other game announcements as well, piggybacking on top of that. And yeah, very interesting development. But why should they care what I think? Why should you care what I think? So, a brief introduction. I'm Justin Leeper. I was a pro wrestler for a little while. I was a video game journalist for a longer while. And I also was the writer, designer, and director on WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, 2010, and 2011's Road to WrestleMania mode. So I'm somebody with a background in pro wrestling and pro wrestling games and video games. So let's talk about it. So first off, having this type of a reveal in sort of like a keynote kind of feeling, I thought was really cool. The whole homage to Steve Jobs was hilarious, especially because they kept doing it with every subsequent person that came out on the stage. That was all pretty funny, and we have to remember that the video game wrestling game community is a small one, and AEW wants to reach a bigger community, so they want their stuff to be entertaining as well. The Young Bucks, with their being the elite, those videos aren't just for pro wrestling fans, they're for entertainment fans. And I think that this reveal did a good job of also being entertaining. They didn't have maybe a ton of information, so they filled their 20-minute presentation with some humor, some surprises, and that was good. As for the game reveal video, so game reveal videos are not indicative of the final project, of maybe even where the project wants to go. It's an introduction. It's saying, hey, look, we have enough of a game plan, enough of a decision to do this, that we put something together for you to look at. Now, Ukes has a very long history of making wrestling games, of course. Part of it I took a part in. Brian Williams, who I worked with at THQ, is a big factor in getting this AEW Ukes partnership together. So he's kind of right there in the middle, which is awesome because I'm a big fan of Brian. He's a good friend of mine, and I think that any game he's on is better for having him. So, but back to the introduction video here. I think it did a lot of things right. I think it showed, the style, the flavor. We had some intergender wrestling, if that's something that people are into. We, of course, had some big-time players in a Chris Jericho model and a Kenny Omega model. The models, I think, looked really good. I am encouraged by what I saw. Now, they are not photorealistic. They are not what we've been used to with the 2K games, and really I think having 2K games, and before that THQ's games, being the standard, being oftentimes the only wrestling game that people get for years and years and years, is a crutch, is something that we have to get away from, because we do not want AEW to make a clone of a WWE 2K game. We don't want that. We have our creation community is awesome enough that they've made every single talent, every single arena from AEW. It's already there to download on 2K19, I'm sure. So if that's all you want, you can go and you can get that for free. Bada bing, bada boom. But we want a new game. We want something that represents AEW and what they do different from WWE. And we want their game to be something different from what 2K offers or has offered. And, of course, we know that Kenny Omega is a big fan of No Mercy. We know that Brian Williams and Ukes are big fans of some of the older SmackDown games that were maybe a little faster, maybe a little bit more focused on fun. So the fact that they're all gearing towards that is a good thing. We want a game that's entertaining. Sometimes I feel that the sim aspects are a little overdone, especially when we don't have the GM mode or a proper career mode on top of that. So I think that's good. Getting Geto-san from formerly of Aki, to be in there in a role. I'm not sure what his role is. I'm guessing it's some kind of consulting role. I don't think he's going to be involved in day to day. I don't think he's going to be Miyamoto-san or Kojima in this. But I think having him come in and maybe make sure that it's got that fun factor, it's got that smoothness, the flow of it that the No Mercy games had is a good thing. Those games to me are my favorite. WWE No Mercy is my favorite pro wrestling game of all time. So, that's a good thing for me. But I think that the fans need to be patient with this. Also, because WWE 2K Games has had that legacy, that 20 years to build off of, all their stuff is in place already. Those modes, those match types, they've already been designed and implemented. It's really easy. And with these new games, whether it is AEW's game, whether it is Virtual Basement's indie wrestling game, The Code, whatever it is, those games are starting from scratch. They have to build all that stuff in there. So that's a bit of a disadvantage to them if we're viewing them on the same plane as 2K Games, and we have to give them patience. So Yuke's, while they've done things for years and years and years, they've built most of those systems that are already, in place, grandfathered in for 2K's games. They need to start that over. That's a good thing. That means we're using modern technology. Hopefully we can get some things that make the games more sustainable for over the years. We can fix some of the kind of archaic aspects that a lot of us kind of don't really like. But from a content perspective, there may not be as much. This company now has time for the first time ever. Yuke's has more than 11 months to finish a game, which they did awesomely to the detriment of their staff, I'm sure. I saw it firsthand, people sleeping under their desks in January. It was rough. We want them to have a good life as well as build a great game for us. So we have to be patient. We have to know that maybe they're not going to put every single feature out that we want immediately in the first game. That's okay. I look at THQ and Yuke's made the UFC games. The first game was amazing. They built on it. Maybe they went to serialized, franchised with it. Maybe they should have taken more time. But, the first game is they want to nail the gameplay. They want to nail the feel. And then maybe those modes and other things can come on top of it. Hopefully with the technology that we have, it doesn't necessitate buying another $60 or $70 game in a few months to get all that stuff. Hopefully there's some kind of content distribution model that allows us to not have to buy another new disc. But not mine to say. Let's see, do I have anything else that I want to throw in on this? No, but I have a lot of faith in AEW, especially because, Kenny Omega, Cody, they're involved, they're hands-on with this. With WWE, it's a giant company. They had guys who weren't really, Vince McMahon, Triple H were not involved with the making of the WWE game. The people most close to making WWE had no part in the WWE game. So that fell to us as designers or writers or whoever they had as kind of a liaison. But now you have Kenny Omega being very vocal about what he wants. I'm sure the Bucks have something to do with it. I'm sure Cody will have his say as well, even though maybe he's not the gamer that Kenny is. And that's a good thing. I hope still that they will defer to Yuke's with their vision, with their experience, to put together a great game, and I look forward to seeing more. This is just a taste. Remember, guys, this is just showing that we can expect something, and we do expect great things. At least I do. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thanks for watching, and please like this video, and please subscribe, and have a lovely day.